NASCAR's updated playoff waiver rule for the 2025 season has become a hot topic of discussion, with many drivers sharing their thoughts. Among the most vocal critics is Kyle Larson, who finds himself at the center of the conversation. Dubbed the Kyle Larson Rule, the changes directly impact drivers who, like Larson, choose to compete in non-NASCAR events such as the Indianapolis 500. Under the new rule, any driver missing a Cup Series race will lose all their bonus playoff points earned throughout the regular season, as well as any potential points collected later. Additionally, drivers suspended for on-track misconduct will no longer receive playoff waivers, effectively ending their championship hopes. Reacting to these sweeping changes, Larson didn't shy away from voicing his concerns. "It's a very aggressive rule change," he remarked, highlighting the significant stakes drivers now face. He added, "Yeah, abide by the rules. Be a clean racer, calm racer. Make NASCAR your priority and you'll be fine." Larson, one of NASCAR's most versatile drivers, has been open about his passion for racing in multiple disciplines. His 2024 debut at the Indy 500 was a dream come true, even if it didn't yield the desired results. However, NASCAR's new rule forces drivers like him to make tough choices. Missing the start of the 2024 Coca-Cola 600 for his IndyCar debut was a calculated risk. But under the 2025 rules, such a decision would strip him of valuable playoff points. Speaking about the potential impact, Larson said, "It is what it is. It's probably going to come into play more for people getting suspended for doing stupid stuff on the track rather than a weather delay at Indianapolis. Hopefully the weather is better in Indy this year, and it's other people getting in trouble, and I won't have to worry about the waiver." Really, hopefully, no one has to worry about that. Larson has already made it clear that he intends to drive in the Indy 500 again this year. If everything goes well, he should be able to make it back to Charlotte in time to race in the Coke 600 as well. But if he doesn't, he has to face the consequences under the new playoff waiver rule. The rule change also puts Hendrick Motorsports in a tricky position. As Larson's team, they now face the challenge of balancing his IndyCar aspirations with the need to protect their NASCAR championship hopes. Losing bonus playoff points due to Larson's absence could derail their title chances, creating tension between Larson's personal goals and the team's priorities. Larson's Indy 500 debut in 2024 was far from perfect. A pit road mistake saw him fall to the back of the pack, with no cautions to help him recover. While he is eager for redemption, Larson has tempered his expectations, focusing instead on dirt racing and leaving IndyCar preparation to the open testing sessions in April. As much as NASCAR's new rules aim to protect the integrity of the Cup Series, Larson's frustration underscores the challenges faced by drivers seeking success across multiple motorsport disciplines. Fans and teams alike will be watching closely to see how Larson navigates this tricky balancing act in 2025. While NASCAR did bring a number of rule changes heading into the 2025 season, the playoff waiver rule has received a lot of negative reactions. But we've already spoken about the reactions this rule change is getting. Now let's take a much deeper look into the change itself. Historically, NASCAR issued playoff waivers to drivers who missed races due to a variety of reasons, including injuries, suspensions, or participation in non-NASCAR events like the Indianapolis 500. We saw this happen last year when Kyle Larson did not race in the Coke 600 in Charlotte as he was participating in the Indy 500 in Indianapolis, which got delayed due to rain. While these waivers allowed drivers to retain their playoff eligibility upon returning to competition, critics argued that the policy was overly lenient, particularly in cases involving non-injury-related absences or on-track incidents that resulted in suspensions. Under the revised rule for 2025, NASCAR will continue to allow drivers to compete in other racing series or miss races for legitimate reasons. However, the consequences for missing a Cup Series race are now significantly more severe. Drivers who miss a race will forfeit all bonus playoff points earned during the regular season. These points, typically awarded for race wins, stage wins, and regular season standings, are critical for advancing through the playoffs. Any bonus points earned after missing a race will also be rendered void, effectively neutralizing the competitive advantage these points provide in the postseason. Drivers who receive suspensions for on-track misconduct will no longer be granted waivers to compete in the playoffs. This change directly addresses past controversies, such as Chase Elliott's suspension for wrecking Denny Hamlin at Charlotte in 2023, where he was still allowed to remain playoff eligible. The updated rule sends a clear message. NASCAR events must take precedence. This places drivers like Kyle Larson, who plan to compete in marquee non-NASCAR events, such as the Indy 500, in a precarious position. Missing a Cup Series race for any reason, be it weather delays, injury, or other commitments, will now come with a significant cost to their championship hopes. For Larson, the stakes are particularly high. While he has expressed excitement for racing in the Indy 500, if things don't go as planned, he has to choose whether to risk his title chances by missing the Coke Sixu or leave the Indy 500 to race in Charlotte. The rule change also aims to crack down on reckless driving. By removing playoff eligibility for suspended drivers, NASCAR hopes to deter aggressive or retaliatory behavior. Drivers like Austin Dillon, who was involved in high-profile incidents like his intentional wreck at Richmond, are less likely to engage in such behavior now that playoff aspirations are directly tied to their conduct. While the rule is stricter, it also reflects NASCAR's intent to balance flexibility with fairness. Drivers are still allowed to pursue opportunities in other series, but they must weigh the potential risk to their NASCAR playoff chances. For Larson and other multidiscipline racers, strategic decision-making will be key to navigating this new landscape. The rule has sparked mixed reactions among fans. Some see it as a necessary step to maintain the integrity of NASCAR's playoff system, while others worry it could discourage top-tier drivers from participating in iconic motorsport events like the Indy 500. The revised playoff waiver rule highlights NASCAR's commitment to fostering fair competition while ensuring the sport remains the top priority for its stars. As the 2025 season unfolds, all eyes will be on how this change impacts drivers like Kyle Larson and the strategic decisions they make throughout the year. The revised playoff waiver rule marks a significant shift in NASCAR's approach to balancing its championship integrity with drivers' aspirations outside the sport. While the rule aims to ensure fairness and prioritize NASCAR events, it creates tough decisions for drivers like Kyle Larson, who thrive on competing in multiple disciplines. Larson's passion for the Indy 500 and other marquee events underscores the broader debate around driver versatility versus championship focus. His 2024 experience in Indianapolis highlighted the challenges of juggling commitments across motorsports, and the new rule only adds to the pressure. Now drivers must weigh the rewards of pursuing their dreams against the penalties that could jeopardize their playoff chances. For fans, the rule introduces a fresh layer of complexity to the championship narrative. Will drivers take fewer risks to protect their standings, or will they embrace opportunities despite the consequences? As the 2025 season unfolds, NASCAR's stricter stance will undoubtedly test drivers' priorities and strategies. Will these changes ultimately enhance competition, or could they discourage the bold decisions that make NASCAR so compelling? Only time will tell, but it raises a question for everyone. Can the balance between tradition and progression ever truly satisfy all stakeholders? What are your thoughts on these rule changes? Post your thoughts in the comments section below.